heads up that on November 20th, I am leading a brand new 10-day live course called Becoming Love. And it's all about how to bring the heart of the world's wisdom teachings right into your relationships. I've distilled the 10 most transformational practices that I've discovered over 2 decades of teaching, 10 tools that you can use to transform your relationships for the rest of your life. If you want the details for this course, just go to the show notes or go to mellyobrien.com/becominglove. Let's dive into the episode. Hey, and welcome to the Deep Resilience Podcast. I'm your host, Melly O'Brien, and in this podcast, along with my weekly newsletter and the Deep Resilience program, we are focusing on one clear goal: translating the best evidence-based tools and the deep wisdom teachings on mental resilience into practical everyday strategies that are accessible to everyone. It is my deep passion to bring you content that breaks down big concepts in ways that make sense to you, but also to make sure I give you tools in each episode that you can immediately use to grow your inner strength and create real positive change in your life and in the world. And hey, if you want to take your inner strength to the next level, be sure to join my newsletter at mellyobrien.com, where you'll receive a whole range of extra benefits, special offers, and bonuses. And let's dive in now to today's episode. Hey friends, I want to talk today about healing, about how I am still working on healing. But I want to share with you how there's been a really, really significant shift in the way that is unfolding for me these days. So, because for a long time on my spiritual journey, I secretly believed that healing myself really meant fixing myself. I don't know if this was entirely conscious. I think this was sort of floating around in the backwaters of like an unquestioned assumption about what spirituality is really about, what healing really is about. So, I just thought that if I could just do enough inner work, clear enough patterns, shed enough trauma, I'd finally arrive at the version of me that I really want to be, the perfect version, the version that didn't react, only responded, endlessly kind, always calm under pressure, the version of me that didn't get insecure or suffer from body image issues or hate my wrinkles or feel afraid or anxious or overwhelmed and never ever got into any kind of messy conflict with anyone. The version of me that didn't carry old coping mechanisms from when I was young or emotional knots or, like mixed feelings about family members or all of that. I told myself that this healing project that I was on, this spiritual journey that I was on, and I was dedicated. I was on. I told myself that this was all about love. Like becoming the best version of myself. But if I'm honest, that effort to heal was kind of heartbreaking and it was kind of exhausting. And it kind of always left me feeling this emptiness. And so it like there was a quiet war going on inside of me. Like one part of me was really constantly rejecting other parts of me. Like I was trying to love myself the best way I knew how. I was trying to heal myself. But what I was really doing was holding this image of a future version of me where I was finally going to be enough. And until I got there, I was on a serious self-improvement project that was so tiring, my friends, just so tiring. But the great thing about these kinds of highly disciplined, and highly energized and motivated mistaken paths is they kind of burn you out, and eventually you kind of end up on your knees asking yourself the question, there's something missing here. What am I missing? So this kind of sneaky spiritual perfectionism happens a lot in spiritual circles, especially when we're beginning our path. And especially when some of us do have, stuff that is hurting and we want it to change. And in those circles, we talk a lot about growth and healing and expansion of awareness. And of course, those things are true. And they matter. They really matter. But there's a lot of paradoxes on the spiritual path. And one of them is that it can feel like a paradox. In reality, it's not, but it can seem like a paradox. Because often what happens is we hold what I call the myth of the healed me. Like, when I get there, I'm going to finally feel whole, complete. I'll be good enough. I'll be spiritual enough. And then I'm going to finally be at peace and find happiness. But what we're often doing is we're reinforcing actually the fundamental assumption that we are not enough and that we need to fix, change, or improve or heal ourselves to finally get there. So what I've come to believe and see in my own life is that true healing is not a destination. It's not about arriving at a version of yourself that is finally worthy of love, that's finally going to get there. Healing to me these days is about how you relate to yourself in a moment, in any given moment. Like, healing is a moment-to-moment choice, not a destination. Okay? It's about learning the skill of bringing unconditional love and also, like a loving leadership to all of the parts of you. The ones that are scared, the ones that are messy, the ones that are reactive, the ones that are still tender, the ones that do not have it all together, the ones that still carry fear or grief or shame, the ones that are quote unquote bad, or you feel they're bad. The parts feel bad. Okay, the ones that, we want to keep in the shadows, the ones that we judge. So here's what healing has become for me now. Healing has become for me now like this. In a moment where something is tender, it's learning to bring softness to the places that I used to judge, that I used to feel are bad. It's learning to hold space for the parts of me that panic, that shut down, that still get triggered, that flinch on the activation of old wounds. And it's leaning in with love to listen to those parts, not fix them, to offer understanding, not judgment, not rejection. Something beautiful happens when I stop trying to change, fix, fight, reject, push away any part of myself, and I start loving those parts. It turns out, in my experience anyway, that when those parts feel seen, safe, understood, and welcomed, they begin to soften, they begin to unwind, they begin to transform into something more life-affirming. They don't need to scream to be heard anymore. They don't need to be so activated, right? So they start to trust that I'm going to show up as a steady, loving, accepting presence, and I'm going to listen. And then those parts know that we can work together as a team to make any changes that are actually more supportive and life-giving. And we're not doing that out of fear that we're not enough. We're not trying to fix, change, or improve ourselves. There's not a sense of lack. This is just done from a sense of care and an innate desire to flourish. We want the system to flourish, the body, mind, awareness system to flourish. So this is the kind of healing I'm interested in these days. I'm not really interested in the whole fixing, improving, performing, or seeking to try to finally one day get there. I'm more interested in showing up as healing any moment that a part of myself feels like it needs that. And it's really about, unwinding from the thoughts that keep telling me that I need to get there, that I'm not enough yet, that I'm not okay as I am. And so when I notice that I can continuously loosen the grip on that story, that I need to get there, even just a little, and I am more able to touch a place of deeper stillness inside, a place of natural wholeness, calm, and contentment. A part of me that can hold space for the rest, for anything that arises. And that's what I call establishing inner leadership. So here's something that you might be able to explore on your own path of healing. Whenever there's a part of you that gets activated that you find tricky, or you find yourself judging yourself or trying to prove yourself or feeling like you're not there yet, whenever one of these parts arrives in the flow of your experience, that you would usually consider something like a hindrance, or it feels like a part of you that you would like to fix or change or get rid of, see if you can gently shift your attitude to a different type of healing. Instead of asking, how do I fix this part of myself or get rid of this part of myself, ask, how right now in this moment can I meet this part of me with love and acceptance? You might even want to lean in and just have a sense of sitting with it, trying to understand it. Ask it, what does it maybe need or want from you? What is it trying to say? Listen to it. Maybe even mentally say to this part of yourself, you're not alone. I'm here with you. You're welcome here. Just experimenting with what it would feel like to stop trying to fix it or change it or banish it, and just sit beside it with love. In my own experience, this is what true healing is. It's not about becoming something more. It's not about winning a battle against parts of ourselves. It's about learning the skill of healing, which is holding all of your humanness with acceptance and love. It's a moment-to-moment practice. It's a practice of reminding yourself that no part of you is bad, no part of you is broken. All of those pieces and parts are worthy of belonging. So we don't heal from ourselves, we heal with ourselves, with our whole selves, not to be more lovable, but just being the love that we already are and bringing that to our system. So this is my story of healing. And, it's more about letting go of the belief that healing is about arriving anywhere, and about remembering that it's a skill, it's a way of relating It's a moment-to-moment choice. In any moment, we can either be healing, like being the healing that we most long for, meeting ourselves with kindness, unconditional acceptance and care, or we can be meeting ourselves with that subtle aggression or subtle rejection of parts of ourselves. In my experience, the realization is that we don't need to be perfect to feel whole. We just need to keep choosing loving acceptance. And wise inner leadership. We still want to keep moving towards actions that are life affirming, but fundamentally, the most transformative thing is just being the healing, being the love. This is the work. This is the practice. This is what spirituality is to me, and this is what healing is to me these days. I hope this is helpful for you on your own journey. Remember again, instead of asking, how can I fix this part of me? How can I love this part of me right now? Try it out. So that practice of healing again, instead of asking, how do I fix or change or improve this part of me? How can I love this part of me right now? I hope this is helpful for you. Thanks so much for being here. And hey, if you'd like some more support in delving into this kind of inner work and this kind of healing, I am running a course coming up on the 20th of November called Becoming Love. It's a 10-day journey of awakening through the mirror of relationship. You can find all the details in the show notes. I'd love to have you with me on that journey. Thanks so much for being here. Wishing you well, and I'll see you on the next episode of the podcast.
If you know someone who you think might benefit from listening to this episode, share it with them. Sharing it could really help them to feel better and improve the quality of their life. And if you found this episode helpful, remember to subscribe to this podcast so that you can receive more tips on growing your inner strength and keep practicing along with us every week. And if you'd like some more support in becoming mentally, emotionally, and spiritually stronger, come check out the offerings I have to support you on my website at www.mellyobrien.com. As well as coaching and course options, I also have a bunch of free resources for you, including a free Deep Resilience Care Package, which you can begin to use right away to get some immediate relief from stress and suffering, improve your resilience and mental well-being, and help you navigate whatever you're going through with more wisdom, skill, and confidence. You can find the links for all of that in the show notes. Thanks again for tuning in. Take care and stay strong.